Hello everyone and welcome back to another Doctor Who review. In today's video I'm going to be taking a look at the brand new 14th Doctor sonic screwdriver, which was available exclusively on Character Online. Now unfortunately this item has now sold out, but they have said that they're going to be getting more in the coming months, so if you missed out, don't worry. There's also going to be a mass retail version released, I think sometime around August or September. What difference that will have to this version, I'm not entirely sure, so if you did miss out on this, there are, other ways of getting it. But for now, here is the online exclusive version, and it's a beauty. So without further ado, we're going to remove the Sonic from the packaging, move that to one side for a second, and we're going to take a look, as ever, at the packaging. Now, what's really nice about this is that it carries over that same 60 years style guide first seen in the Regeneration set earlier in the year. So at the top corner we have Doctor Who 60 years. It's very nice to actually have the diamond logo used, and it looks very nice. Then we have the area where the Sonic is. Strangely, there is no plastic bubble surrounding the Sonic, so the Sonic is free to touch. The only plastic used on the packaging is to keep the Sonic against the back card of the packaging. We have a couple of diamonds with lights and sound effects and features extending and opening emitter. Down below we have online exclusive 14th Doctor sonic screwdriver, electronic light and sound effects. Then we have an image of the Sonic extended. Around to the side we have the new Doctor Who logo, but in a line. I've always thought it doesn't look as striking like this because the Who sort of really stands out compared to the Doctor. So I would have much rather it had the same font all the way across, but that's just a minor gripe. And then round to the back we have the 60 years logo again, an image of the sonic screwdriver, an image of the 14th Doctor, and a bio of the 14th Doctor. Now, to save on plastic and paper use, I guess, they've decided to put all the instructions on the box, either here on the back or round to the side here. So, I mean, it's fairly self-explanatory how the Sonic operates. So that's the packaging really. So without further ado, we'll get on to the main star of the show, which is of course the sonic screwdriver. Now, apologies if there's a little bit of glare on camera, but this thing is very shiny. It uses a lot of Vax metal, which is just very premium. It feels very premium. And this had a retail price of £30, and a lot of people barked at that, going, it's a lot for what it is. And it is. But when you get the Sonic in hand, you can really feel the money that's been put into this, and it's well worth it in my opinion. So we'll go from top to bottom. So starting off at the top, we have the emitter, which is, that's what it says on the tin really, and you'll see how that plays in later in the video. Moving down, you've got this sort of cage piece with the, like a clear section in the middle, which does extend. I imagine that that's where the Doctor will read readings from the Sonic. Below that we have these 4 prongs, which will extend, but more on that later. Moving down, we have the actual activation switch, which I don't know if you can see, it's very subtle. Has a little bit of Gallifreyan text on the button, which is very cool. And then we have this cracked marbling effect, reminiscent of the 9th and 10th Doctor Sonic. Moving down, we have a silver band rather, and then this black leather strap piece. It's plastic, but it's made to look like leather, and again, very reminiscent of the 11th Doctor Sonic. But more on that later. Moving down, we have a gold band, this sort of cage of silver bands, which does turn. It has this very satisfying clicking sound. This doesn't do anything, it's just a feature reminiscent of the laser screwdriver. And then moving down again, we have this gold bottom section with a screw in the bottom. This is a bit reminiscent of, I think, the 12th Doctor Sonic. You can see elements of all the Doctor's other Sonics, or new series Sonics, throughout this. So this is sort of 12th Doctor, this is 10th Doctor, and then this is mainly 11th Doctor down here. There's an Easter egg of the 13th Doctor sonic screwdriver within this Sonic, but that comes with the sound effects. But this is the main star of the show, is the extending feature, which is just like that, and it looks fantastic. I really, really like this. It's a really satisfying motion just to use the same button to extend the Sonic as you do to activate the Sonic, which is something that they really should have done with the 10th Doctor Sonic. And it's very easy to compact back down. You can either just grab the claws and push it down, or use the button. So I've already given you a sneak preview of the sounds. So if you just press the button here, you can see it lights up blue. And there's a variety of sound effects depending on how many times you press the button. This is very similar to the other Sonics that we've had. I think nearly every Sonic has had this feature. So there's not a great deal of different sound effects, but the variety of sound effects come with a very hidden play feature, which is if you unscrew the bottom half of the Sonic to access the battery compartment, you'll see a micro switch or micro button here. And if you press the micro button and the activation switch at the same time for 4 seconds, you'll get 2 beeps. And then when you activate the Sonic, it will light up green, which is really cool. I really like this feature. And as you can probably hear, the sound effect is a lot louder when it's in every other setting apart from blue. So just to have that one more time. Very cool. And if you press the 2 buttons again, you'll hear 1 beep. That takes it back to blue. Then if you press the buttons together for 5 seconds, you'll hear 3 beeps. Now when you activate the Sonic, you'll get a yellow or green. It's like a lime colour. And that is obviously a different setting as well. And that's where the 13th Doctor Easter egg is, because that sound effect is carried over from 13th Doctor Sonic, which was released 5 years ago now, I think, 5 or 6 years ago. But then if you press the 2 buttons together again, you'll get the 1 beep, takes it back to blue. And then if you press the 2 buttons together for, I think, 6 seconds or longer, so there we go, you get 4 beeps. Now when you activate Sonic, you have a red setting. I really like this. It's something that I'm not sure how it's going to play into the series, but it's something that I really would have liked to have seen on some of the other Sonics, like the 11th Doctor Sonic. That would have been really cool. I think there are a couple of hidden sound effects as well, depending on how many times you press the button. So let's just give that a shot. Nah, maybe not. But we'll just take it back to blue. It's very cool. And the fact that there are so many sound effects and different functions fitted into this Sonic makes me believe that this is going to be the Sonic that Ncuti Gatwa has when he starts as the Doctor. Because I can't imagine that they would put this much effort into a sonic screwdriver if it's only going to be used in 3 episodes. To me, that just doesn't make sense. I could be wrong, I don't know. But as you can see, just by the way that I'm moving the Sonic, I do have a window behind the camera, and you can see just how much it shines and just how much the silver and the gold really pop. It's a beautiful item. So that's really it for the Sonic, but I thought whilst I have the Sonic here, I would dig out my tin of Sonics, which I've got lying around in my collection room, and we'll do a few comparisons because that's always fun. So to take a look at the newest Sonic compared to its predecessor, we have the 13th Doctor Sonic. Now, I've never been a fan of the 13th Doctor Sonic. It didn't look like a sonic screwdriver. I like the fact that she built it, but it just didn't... It didn't connect with me in the same way that all the other Sonics have. And I'm really glad that the new Sonic has gone back to looking like a tool. It looks like a scientific instrument, as John Hurt would say. So that's really cool. So there's the 14th Doctor Sonic compared to the 13th Doctor Sonic. Then bringing in the 12th Doctor Sonic, which is actually one of my favourites. You can certainly see the similarities in the cage element here, and some of the silver details like this bit here, how that is reminiscent, and the bottom section as well. Then bringing in the 11th Doctor Sonic, which is probably my favourite. You can certainly see the similarities in this section here and this section here, carried over onto the new Sonic, as well as the extendable claws, which is certainly a reference carried over onto the new one. So there's the 11th Doctor Sonic, and then we have the 10th Doctor Sonic, which seems so primitive compared to the new one, in that this is all it does. And it's a pen, which seems like a ridiculous play feature. But you can certainly see the carryover of the cracked marbling effect. The only difference is on the 10th Doctor Sonic, it's sculpted into the Sonic, whereas on the new Sonic, it's printed. I actually prefer it printed, I think. It just makes it look a lot more clean. So there's the 10th Doctor Sonic. There is a bit of a difference between the 9th Doctor Sonic. This is the original that was released in 2005. You can see it's basically the same, just in a beige colour. So there are all the new series Sonics. I do also have all of the classic Sonics in this tub, but there aren't really any references to the classic Sonics within this new Sonic, I don't think. The only thing that might be worth noting is, like on the 4th Doctor Sonic, this is the silver that's used for this Sonic, and you can just see how much more vibrant the Vax metal is. And it just looks fantastic. So I can only imagine that when the mass retail version of this Sonic comes out, it's going to have just painted silver and gold instead of the Vax metal. That would make a lot of sense to me. If it's going to be cheaper as well, then I can imagine that kids might not necessarily care if it's got Vax metal paint apps or not. So there we go, guys. There is a look at the brand new character options exclusive 14th Doctor Sonic screwdriver. It's an absolutely fantastic piece. It feels really nice to hold in your hand to go, this is the new Doctor's Sonic screwdriver. It's fantastic. There's a lot of play features packed into this. There's a lot of details, a lot of hidden features and functions, which just make it a fantastic item to own. If you were lucky enough to pick one up, let me know in the comments down below what you think of it. Do you like it? Do you not like it? How does it rank in your Sonic screwdrivers? And if you unfortunately did miss out on one, fear not, because I'm sure you'll have an opportunity to pick one up in the coming months. So there we go, guys. There's a look at the brand new 14th Doctor Sonic screwdriver. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you again for another Doctor review, whenever that may be, and whatever that may be. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.